Hello everyone, welcome once again, and as you all know that Drishti IAS has started this particular thing, that is 100 most important topics, and that is for your prelims 2026. So my first video was with regard to decoding the economics syllabus, and today I have come up with the first topic, that is the most important topic with regard to your prelims 2026, and that is with regard to money and the basic concepts with regard to money, where we will be covering up the money supply and M1, M2, M3, M4, everything like that. So myself, I'm Girish Venkatesh, and once again welcome all of you. So I will be having some questions also discussed in this particular session with regard to the topics which we are discussing, and I will have one surprise question for all of you, and for that surprise question what you have to do is that you have to give the answer in the link below. So in the comment box, you have to give the answer for that surprise question, and that surprise question will come in the last. So let's start, not waste any time, and let's start the topic. So first, as I said you, today we are going to discuss money as well as the basic concepts with regard to money. Now when I say basic concepts, here I'll be talking about the evolution of money, I'll be talking about the functions of money, I'll be talking about the types of money, and also I'll be talking about the very important topic with regard to money supply. Got it? So first of all, there is the evolution of money. Not to go in too much of detail with regard to the evolution of money, but here I have brought this wheel, but from where the wheel starts, from where the evolution of money starts, it starts from here, that is the animal money. When I say animal money, you must be thinking from where I got this animal money concept. We should know that during the proto-historic period, there was the animal money which was used as a means of exchange. Proto-historic period. Now that you need your history teachers to reply what is that proto-historic period, but during that proto-historic period there was the animal money. That means animals were exchanged. Animals were the means of exchange. Then came the commodity money. Now this commodity money, you can also refer it as nothing else but the barter system. And we all know that because of the limitations of that barter system, the money came into existence, that is the paper notes and coins, they came into existence. But after the barter system, that is the commodity money, there came the metallic money. And when I say metallic money, then metallic money, they are of durable metals like gold, silver, copper, aluminium, nickel and all. And then we came up with metallic coin. See, there is a metallic money and then there is a metallic coin. And this metallic coin, as you all know, they were used by different rulers in India. Okay? And they are metallic coins. And then we have the paper money, that is the currency which is being issued by the RBI and all. And then we have the credit money, that is with regard to the credit cards, or you can say it's also referred as the bank money. Credit money, it's also referred as what? Bank money. That is the deposits which are in the form of cash saved by the people. The deposits which are in the form of cash saved by the people. Now, do not get confused of this credit money with that of the ATMs and all, because that ATM and all is with regard to the plastic money. So this is what is the evolution of money. It starts from animal money, commodity money, metallic coin. Metallic coin here, you can talk about the rulers also, you can talk about the present day times also, where the coins are being used, 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin, and so on. Then there are the paper money, the paper money which is issued by the RBI in India, that is the currency notes. And then we have the credit money, that is the bank money. And please remember, bank money is nothing else but the deposits which are in the form of cash saved by the people. That is what is referred as credit money, or it can also be called as bank money. And please remember, this bank money or credit money, it can be withdrawn, it can be transferable, and that too on demand. So that is what. And against this credit money, there are checks which are issued to the account holders, okay, or to the deposit holders. Then the next topic, as I said you, it is with regard to the functions of money. Now we all know that the functions of money, it can be divided into 3 broad categories. Now this contingency function, remember it, this particular contingency function, this was basically, this contingency function is not for the prelims part. It can be for the mains part, but you must know what is this contingency function. But the very important is the primary and the secondary functions. And when I say the primary functions, that means they are the most important functions of money. Not to waste any time, what is the first primary function? We all know it's the medium of exchange. Now you all must be thinking, sir, why didn't you explain, why didn't you discuss about the barter system? Now barter system I will be discussing, but after the functions of money. So the first function of money is what? A medium of exchange. Now all of us know that how money acts as a medium of exchange. Because money is just an intermediary which is used between the buyer and the seller. That means anything can be bought in return for money, anything can be sold in return for money. So that means this particular medium of exchange, it is such an important function of money that it has, you can say, overcome the limitation as per the double coincidence of want. Now let's relate it to the difficulties. We all know that barter system is something where commodities or goods, they are exchanged with each other. But a very important criteria or a very important, you can say, step for the barter system to take place is nothing else but it is the double coincidence of want. And double coincidence of want means there is a coincidence which is happening, and coincidence is something which does not happen by knowledge. With knowledge it does not happen, but all of a sudden it happens. So that is what is coincidence. But there is a coincidence with regard to both the persons. That means I am having a pair of shoes and I am willing to have a, you can say, a trouser in return for these pair of shoes. And the person who is having the trouser, he is willing to have my pair of shoes. So this is what is double coincidence. And double coincidence of want, it is one of the most important criterias of barter system. And with the coming of money, this very double coincidence of want, it was a very big limitation. So that limitation was, you can say, overcome. So money as a medium of exchange means anything can be bought and sold with the help of money. So that means buying and selling becomes very easier with the help of money. Then second one is the measure of value. Measure of value का मतलब यहाँ What is this? Ki money, what it does is that it expresses the value of goods and services, that too in terms of price. Now, if I have this bottle of water here, then how the value of this bottle of water is expressed? It's expressed in rupees. It's written 10 rupees per bottle. So that is what is, you can say, the measure of value. So these are the two primary functions, but when it comes to the secondary function, money ka secondary function number one, it is that it is a store of value. Store of value means money can be stored where you can store in your almirah, you can store in the banks, and that money can be used for future. And because it is a store of value, then it preserves value over time. Then it is a transfer of value. Transfer of value means you can transfer money. Using your Paytms and all, we can transfer money. And finally, we can say deferred payments. Deferred payments means I have a laptop of 1 lakh rupees bought. Now, I don't have that 1 lakh rupees. What I say that in the coming 8 months, I will be giving the money. That is, every month, I will be giving like 12 to 15,000 rupees and I'll be completing the payment of 1 lakh by 8 months. So that is what is the standard of deferred payment. Deferred means future payments. Okay, so this is the secondary functions of money. Now, when I say contingency functions, I said you measurement of national income. Now, our country's national income, whether it is in the form of GDP or whether it is in the form of domestic income, everything is expressed in rupees. Everything is expressed in monetary terms. So that is what. Also, the bank credit, it's also expressed in monetary terms, and there are various macroeconomic variables which are expressed in monetary terms. So when it comes to the functions of money, you have to remember these particular headings, and from these headings you have to understand that what is actually the function of money. And I would say you, for this, go for the NCERT book. I said you, with regard to the state NCERT book, you can just scroll on the website, Google, and you can go for the Maharashtra or the Tamil Nadu state NCERT book. They have written in a very easy language with regard to these functions of money. Then, as I said you, there were difficulties with regard to the barter system. The very important difficulty was with regard to the problem of double coincidence of what? And then there is a lack of common measure of value. In barter system, you cannot have a common measure of value. For example, in money, you have a common measure of value, that is rupees and paisa. But in barter system, like for example, if you are transferring liquid items with that of a solid item, how can you measure in liters? So for liquid item, the unit of value is liters. For solid item, the unit of value is what? Kg, grams, and so on. So there is no common measure of value. Plus difficulty in the storage of values. Now, when it is perishable items, it is difficult to store. That is what. And indivisibility of certain goods. Indivisibility of certain goods in the sense that if you want to break the goods, if you want to divide the goods, you cannot divide it. For example, the house in which you live, how can you divide and you can exchange it? But money, it is possible, because money comes in different denominations. And the final thing is that problem of making deferred payments. That means if I take 1 kg of rice or something like that from someone, then what is the medium of my deferred payment? What is the way of that deferred payment? That is very difficult to decide when it comes to barter system. So whatever are the limitations with regard to barter system, those becomes the, you can say, they become the merits or they become the features with regard to money. So barter system ke difficulties also we have completed. Then let's come with the types of money. Now, as I have said you that when we talk about the types of money, then the first type of money here, if I say, it's the fiat money. Now, when I say fiat money is nothing else but it is that money which is declared legal tender by the government. That means the 500 rupee note or the 10 rupee note or the 100 rupee note which is declared legal tender by the government, that is referred as the fiat money. Okay? And one thing I would request everyone to remember with regard to the fiat money. Just remember 2000 rupee note which is out of circulation from the market, still it is considered to be as a legal tender, but only thing is that it is out of circulation in the market. So 2000 rupee note is a fiat money. Why? Because it is a money declared legal tender by the government. That is what is fiat money. Then comes the full-bodied money. Now, full-bodied money, you can take the example of a gold coin. Now, gold coin is what? The gold coin is made up of gold. So there is an intrinsic value with regard to the gold. So when it comes to full-bodied money or when it comes to the token money, there are two things which you have to remember. One is the intrinsic value. Intrinsic value means the commodity value. That is, what is the value of that commodity? Now, if the gold is of 100 rupees value, then its face value will also be that of 100 rupees. So when it comes to the full-bodied money, then what happens here? Here the face value is equal to the intrinsic value. Always the face value will be equal to what? The intrinsic value. That means whatever is the intrinsic value of that gold, the same will be the face value. So that is referred as what? Full-bodied money. Remember it. Then comes the token money. This token money, sometimes it can also be called as representative full-bodied money. Now, representative full-bodied money means take a 500 rupee note out of your pocket and just see the 500 rupee note, it's made of a paper. Now, is the value of that paper 500? Not at all. Because 500 rupee is written and it has been authorized by the RBI, that's why it becomes a legal tender and it is measured at rupees 500. But think of the game which you used to play in your childhood times, the money game which we used to play. In that there were knuckly notes. Now those notes were what? Those notes were just a piece of paper. So what happens with the token money is that its face value is always greater than its intrinsic value. Now the paper, the piece of paper of which the 500 rupees note is made, its intrinsic value is not at all 500 rupees. But it is what? It is less than the face value. Face value is how much? 500. And intrinsic value is how much? Its intrinsic value is basically less than that. So that is referred as representative full-bodied money with regard to the notes. But when I say token money, then token money is nothing else but the coins which we have. The token money are the coins. That is, the face value of that coin is more than the intrinsic value. Remember it, the face value of that coin, it is more than what? It is more than the intrinsic value. So that is what is the token money. So this is face value is more than the intrinsic value, and this is with reference to coins. And when I said representative full-bodied money, then this is with regard to currency notes. Here also face value is greater than the intrinsic value, but this is with regard to the notes. That means whatever is represented, that is what is the value, face value. And yes, it must be authorized, it must be issued by the RBI. Then there is money which is referred as fiduciary money. Now what is fiduciary money? Fiduciary money is something which is accepted on trust. Because you have trust, so you are accepting it, but it does not have any legal backing. Like for example, the checks. Now, if you have trust on me, I'll give you a post-dated check of 1 lakh rupees. You will say, okay, I'm keeping this check and on such and such day, I'll produce it near the bank. That means you have a trust on me. That's why you have taken a check and you have gone. So that is what is a fiduciary money. That means it is accepted based on trust, but it does not have any legal backing. Instead, these checks are what? These checks are instruments of money. They are basically the instruments with regard to money. Chalo, we'll talk about that. Then the bank money, already I have said you that the bank money are nothing else, but they are the demand deposits with the bank, and that can be withdrawn or that can be transferred on demand. And these bank monies, they are also referred as what? They are also referred as credit money. And when we talk about the bank money, they can be withdrawn on demand, for example, with the help of checks or with ATMs and all. So these are the referred as the types of money. So you must remember this full-bodied money and the token money and the representative full-bodied money, then the fiduciary money and also the fiat money. Again, I'll say you, fiat money is what? The money which is declared as legal tender by the government. We'll discuss about that legal tender later on. Okay, so then comes the next. Now, this is something which everyone always gets confused of. So what I have done, I have brought you in the form of a table. This table, if you keep in mind, you will never do anything wrong with it. When it comes to currency notes, that is 2 rupees plus, that is 2 rupees, 10 rupees, 5 rupees, 20 rupees, 50 rupees, 100 rupees and so on, that is issued by the RBI and the signature is that of the RBI governor. When it comes to the 1 rupee note, nowadays hardly we find that 1 rupee note, that is issued by the government of India and the signature is finance secretary. He is an IAS officer. So the finance secretary is issuing the 1 rupee note. Now question number 1, surprise question number 1. You please write it on the comment box down that who is the current finance secretary of India? Who is the current finance secretary of India? That is the question number 1, which is there for you to comment on, to write it on your comment box. So you have time for that. Just think and just write it down. Who is the current finance secretary? Then what about the coins? The coins, they are issued by Government of India and there is no signature in the coin, rather there is the emblem of India. So there is no signature, rather there is what? Emblem of India. So that is what is coin money. Okay, so this is something which all of you should remember with regard to the topics. Then we come up with a very important thing, and that is with regard to your legal tender. Then we have this very important thing which I said you, fiat money. Already I have said you, fiat money. Now, fiat money is something which is a legal tender, which is declared as legal tender by the government. So that is what is fiat money. And this fiat money, it can be by the RBI, it can be by the government. Now RBI, it issues what, 2 rupees to 500 rupees note, and the government, it has 1 rupee and all the coins 50 paisa onwards. So they are part of the fiat money. But this fiat money, sorry, that line is something different. The types of fiat, sorry, the types of legal tender. Types of legal tender are what? Two types. Unlimited legal tender, and there is what? A limited legal tender. So when I say legal tender, then legal tender is what? It is the money which has to be accepted, which must be accepted for payments by law. That means no one can reject it. What did I say? Legal tender? Legal tender is the money that must be accepted. It must be accepted for payments by law. But in India, the legal tenders, they are issued by the RBI and they are also minted by the government. And when the RBI issues it, it is 2 rupees onwards notes, and by the government it is 1 rupee note and all the coins above 50 paisa and above. But the legal tender, that is when we are trying to do payments, and those payments have to be accepted. So they can be unlimited legal tender, they can be limited legal tender. So when it is 2 rupees to 500 rupees, the legal tender is unlimited. That means the payments with regard to these notes, unlimited payments can be done, like lakh rupees, crore rupees, and so on. But still, there are certain RBI guidelines with regard to the payments, that when you are making such and such payment, you have to do such and such thing, and so on. But when it comes to the 1 rupee note and 50 paisa and coins, they are limited legal tender. Got it? They are what? Limited legal tender. Why? Because there is a transaction limit to it. But when it comes to the currency notes of 2 rupees and 500 rupees, there is no transaction limit. And legal tender, as I said you, that means the money that must be accepted for payment and no one can refuse it. Got it? So fiat money is a legal tender money, and it is issued by the RBI as well as by the government. Whatever is issued by the government, that is limited legal tender, and whatever is issued by the RBI, that is unlimited legal tender. That means any amount of payment, if you want to do, you can do it with this, but you cannot do it with this. There is a limited legal tender with regard to that. Then, as I said you, bank money. Bank money was also called as what? What? It was also called as the credit money. That means bank money is with regard to the demand deposits which you and I have in our banks, and that can be transferred or that can be withdrawn. But there are instruments, I said you, with regard to bank money. One is the check, all of you know about it. Then there is the demand draft. Most of the time when we deposit the fees with regard to the governments and all, in government run institutions, we make demand draft. That means we go to the bank, we submit amount there, they give a draft, we go and submit it in the college or in the universities and so on. And then there is the ATM, debit card, NEFT, RTGS and UPI. Now this NEFT, RTGS, I'll be telling you, and UPI also, all of you know about it. Then we have this online transactions. 3 types of online transactions are there. That means these 3 online transactions, they are with regard to what? Instruments of bank money. Now this 3, RTGS, NEFT and IMPS. Now when I say about RTGS, it is real-time gross settlement. When I say about NEFT, it is National Electronic Fund Transfer. And when I talk about IMPS, it is Immediate Payment Service. Please remember it, all these 3 services, they are available nowadays 24/7. All of these services. And when we talk about the year 2019, then the services, these services after 2019, they were made free. That means earlier when we were using transactions with regard to RTGS, when we are doing transfer of money with regard to RTGS or NEFT or IMPS, then there was certain amount of fees that was charged. But now that fees is not at all charged. And remember it, in 2025, that is last year, this particular question was actually asked. Last 2025, this question was asked that with regard to NEFT, RTGS, what is the fees? Like it is free. So that means 2019's incidence has been asked in 2025. So that means you have to be aware of those 5 years. Always in my initial video also I did tell you that when we are decoding economic syllabus, always remember there is the yearbook. That yearbook, India yearbook, now it's called as Bharat. No need to go for the entire yearbook. Just take a precise copy of it. It must be available. Drishti IAS also has that precise copy of that Bharat yearbook, as well as with regard to the budget and all. So you can take a precise thing of that and you can go with all the important things, okay, for your prelims. Then what is the amount with regard to RTGS? Large amounts are being transferred, lakhs, crores. But when it comes to NEFT and IMPS, there are smaller values. And when it comes to settlement, there is an instant settlement. That means you do RTGS, the amount will go. Here it's 30 minutes. That means it takes around 1 hour, like. And here also the settlement is instant. So that means when we are talking about the instruments of bank money, checks, all of you are aware of it. Demand draft, all of you are aware of it. But what about the ATMs? We all know about the ATMs, automated machines and all. And debit cards, which is the plastic money which we have. NEFT, RTGS, I have already said you. And with regard to the amount, settlement and fees, please remember it. This is not to memorize, just to remember it. Okay, this is the thing which we have to remember, because our focus is on what? 2026 prelims. Smart study will make you pass this exam, will make you click this exam. But if you do not do a smart study, then what will happen? You will work hard, but the result will be like 50-50. You have chances of 50-50. But what you have to do, you have to do smart study. And smart study means looking into the PYQs and getting into the topics which are very important. Okay, so next slide. What is it about? This is about a question that which of the following statement are correct. In India, the minimum denomination coin acceptable for transaction is 50 paisa. Minimum denomination coin. Here they are telling minimum denomination acceptable for transaction is what? 50 paisa. And coins below 50 paisa are not a legal tender for the payment. So in this case, both the statements are correct. That is C and D. They both are correct. So these are the type of questions which are being asked in your previous year UPSC exams. Then there is one more question with regard to the RTGS and NEFT. It says in RTGS, the settlement time is instantaneous. Instantaneous means instantly it takes place. While in NEFT, it takes some time to settle payments. What did I say? Dekho, in RTGS, the settlement time is instant. NEFT, yes, it takes some time. So that means the statement 1 is what? It is correct. In RTGS, the customer is charged for inward transaction. Customer is charged for inward transaction. What? While that is not in NEFT. Sorry, in all the three, they are free. RTGS also it's free, NEFT also it is free. Then the operating hours for RTGS are restricted. Galat. I said you it's 24 into 7. That is what is the operating hour. So only A is right. Got it? Only A is right. Hope so you're enjoying this session, and I would request everyone that please forward this video, please forward this particular session to all your friends who are appearing for 2026 prelims exams. Let's help each other and let's make this session a happening one. Okay, so I would request everyone that please forward it, please share it with all your friends. Okay, now the very, very important one, and that is with regard to money supply. But money supply, what is there is that we always try to think, money supply, that is very difficult to understand. But today I'll give you a very easy trick to understand money supply. Only just in 7 to 8 minutes, we are going to complete the money supply. First thing, what is money supply? Money supply is nothing else but it is the total stock of money in circulation among the public at a particular point of time. That is what is called as money supply. So money supply is what? It is nothing else but it is the total stock of money. Okay? It is the total stock of money in circulation among public at a particular point of time. So when we are having no time dimension, then that is basically a stock concept. So money supply is a stock concept, but when I say change in money supply, then that becomes a flow concept because there is a time dimension involved. And time dimension means for an hour, for a minute, for a day, for a year. So that is what is time dimension, because in money supply we are talking about at a particular point of time what is the circulation of money. Yeah, what is the total stock of money in circulation that is among the public, that is what is money supply. And it is to be noted that when it comes to the money which is being circulated, we all should know that whatever is deposited in the bank accounts, okay, whatever are the printed notes and all, so that is what. So there are 4 measures of money: M1, M2, M3 and M4. These are basically, you can say, the 4 measures of money. But before going into the 4 measures of money, first question to all of you is that why do we need supply of money in the economy? Why? There are 2 reasons for that. One is to check inflation. That means to check inflation, we need the supply of money in the economy. That is, for price stability, we need the supply of money. And the second one is to control the interest rate. That means if the money supply is more, if the money supply increases, then what will happen to the interest rate? It will decrease. Money supply increases, then the interest rate will decrease. So as such, the interest rates are controlled with the help of money supply. So there are other reasons also, but we should always know that why there is a need for money supply. One, to check the inflation, and the second one is to control the interest rate. Now, as we all know that there are 2 types of deposits. We are going into the money supply. I said you, I'm going to give you a very easy method to just remember what are there in M1, M2, M3 and M4. So we will be talking about 2 deposits. One is the demand deposit. All of you know about that. That is, on demand, you can withdraw or transfer the money. That is what is demand deposit. And the other one, it is the time deposits. Now, time deposits are basically for a particular point of time, like for the fixed deposits which are there, these are the time deposits, or the RDs which we do, they are the time deposits. Yes, we can withdraw them before that fixed time, but there is a loss which we have to bear. So on maturity only, these time deposits can be withdrawn. Then these demand deposits and time deposits, they are with what? They are with the banks. Now here we are talking about two banks. One is the post office and one is the commercial bank. We all know what is commercial bank. But remember, there is one more bank, that is the cooperative banks. We are not going to involve the cooperative banks in the money supply, because the cooperative banks, they do work for welfare purpose. But commercial banks, their main motive is what? To earn profit. So that's why here, when we are talking about banks, instead of including cooperative banks also, we will only take commercial banks. That is the demand deposits in the commercial bank and the time deposits in the commercial bank. Now you must be thinking that, sir, why did you put post office? Post office also acts as a bank. It is not only something with regard to letter, it also acts as a bank. Just ask your parents that they must have deposited money in the post office. There are savings which are done in the post office. There are time deposits which are done in the post office. So these are small type of savings which we individuals, we do in the post office. So here the banks are post office, they are also regarded as the banks. Got it? Now let's go and do the table. Now this CC, what is this CC standing for? This CC, it is standing for currency and coins. This CC, it is for currency and coins. Now, as I said you, the banks, they do demand deposits also and they do time deposits also. Post office also do demand deposit and post office also does the time deposit. So in M1, when we talk about M1, then M1 is nothing else but it is the currency and coins which are in circulation. It is the currency and coins which are held by the public, that is CC. And also it includes the demand deposits which are there in the commercial bank. Okay? The demand deposits which are there in the commercial bank. But M1 does not include any of the post office deposits, that is with regard to demand deposits of post office and the time deposit. So M1 is what? CC plus DD. CC is currency and coins which are there with the public and demand deposits in the bank. And here, remember it, the word net is being used. Net demand deposits. And when I say net, then net, it implies only deposits of public which are held in the bank. Okay? Only deposits of public which are held by the bank. They are included in the money supply. Okay? Then comes M2. Now in M2, CC will be there. The demand deposits which are held by the commercial bank, they will be there. And also it will include the demand deposits with the post office. That is, whatever are the deposits by the public in the post office, they will also be included in this particular M2. So M2 has now an addition of what? The demand deposits which are by the post office. So these two are not there. Then in M3, what happens is that we have CC, we have DD, but here we have the time deposits. So here commercial bank deposits with regard to demand and with regard to time, all are included, but nothing included with regard to the post office. And what about M4? M4, it includes all the M3 along with the demand deposits in the post office and the time deposits in the, you can say, post office. So overall, what you can see is that M1 only includes the demand deposits with bank plus CC. So CC is there in all the four measurements, that is M1, M2, M3 and M4. And when it comes to the demand deposits with the commercial bank, it is also there in all the four measurements. But when it comes to the time deposits, it's only there in M3 and M4. And what about the post office? It's there, post office demands deposit, it's there in M2 as well as in M4. And time deposits of the post office, it's only held with M4. Now let's look into a very important thing. Now what I'll do is that I'll try to calculate the quantity of money supply. I'll try to show the quantity of money supply. Like for example, the currency and coins were 20 and the demand deposits in the commercial banks all over, they were 20. So it becomes what? 40. Then similarly here 20, here 20. So now one more thing is added. What I do, I write this as 30. So all over the post office, the demand deposits are 30. So this becomes at what? 20 plus 20 plus 30, that is 40 plus 30 is what? 70. Then here it's 20, here also it's 20, and here what happens? There are time deposits. That means there are time deposits with the commercial bank. Take it for example, we can say that 50 rupees of time deposits is with the commercial bank. So it becomes how much? 90. And this becomes 20, 20, 50, and here it becomes 30, and let the time deposits with the commercial, with the post office becomes 20. So what happens? 20, 20, 40, 90, 120, 140. So what you are seeing as M1, M2, M3, M4, as we go on with this, then the quantity of money supply, it also increases. Okay? The quantity of money supply, it also increases. So that is what. And here M1, it is the most liquid. Now when I say liquid, liquid is something which is easily converted into cash. So because this is the most liquid, why? Because this is the currency and coin which is held by the public and also the demand deposit. And we all know demand deposit is something which can be withdrawn or transferred on demand. And the least liquid is what? M4. That means M4 is an instrument which is very difficult to be converted into cash, because here you have the time deposits involved. Here you have the time deposit involved. So remember it, the most liquid is the M1 and the most liquid is the M1 and the least liquid is what? The M4. So was it an easy one? So you don't have to ratify a very simple method I have come up with to explain you this M1, M2, M3, M4. This chart of your completes your entire, you can say, your entire tension with regard to this M1, M2, M3 and M4. So the surprise question for all of you. The surprise question for all of you, and it is, we all know this is the currency. This is the currency symbol of our country, India. Now this currency symbol, who has designed this symbol and when was it adopted? Waiting for your answers in the comment box, and I guess do not use the Google Master or do not use any AI medium to find the answer of this. Come on, you have to find the answer, and I'll give you a guess. No, I won't be giving you a guess. I'll be waiting for your answer. So this is the second surprise question for you. The first surprise question is, who is the current Finance Secretary of India? Okay, so there comes the end of this session. Hopefully all of you must have loved this session. You must have gained some or the other knowledge. And please, once again, I'll tell you, share this particular video with all your friends who are appearing for 2026 prelims exams. And once again, I'll tell you, Drishti IAS has come out with 100 most important topics for your prelims 2026 preparation. So this is what is our, you can say, our work towards your success. So what we are trying to do for your success is this very 100 most important topics. So today we have completed the entire topic with regard to money and its money supply and all. So next video will be coming with the next most important topics. Thank you all. See you. And once again, bye-bye.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.